90% of the time, even though it feels awkward, even though you feel a little vulnerable, when you talk to somebody and you go first, they talk back. And this isn't just Mel, your friend, saying this. I came with research, people. Research that proves that not only are you going to feel a little awkward when you talk to a stranger, but here's what the research proves. Check this out. That you actually do enjoy what happens when you talk to a stranger. So let me unpack this for you, because this is going to be like, you're kidding me, right? So this was a research study done at the University of Chicago, and they set up this experiment that involved commuters on trains, okay? So let me put you at the scene. They took a group of commuters and they divided them into two groups, okay? And they said, group number one, here's what we want you to do. We want you to just go about your commute like you normally do. What does that mean? You sit on the train and you ignore people and you don't look at them. You read the book, you listen to your music, you just mindlessly scroll on your phone, whatever it is that you normally do that involves not looking at anybody else or making eye contact or talk, because nobody does, right? That's your assignment. The other group, okay, the second group, here's your assignment. You have to strike up a conversation with a stranger who is sitting near you during the commute. And here's where it gets interesting. Before they put the two groups on the commuter train, they asked the groups, okay, how much do you think you're going to enjoy the assignment? And of course, the people who were told, you got to talk to strangers, they were literally like, I'm not going to enjoy this at all. This is going to completely blow. Wait till you hear what happened. Because when the whole assignment was over and they asked both groups, the people who literally just read their books and didn't talk to anybody and the people who were forced to talk to strangers, okay, how do you feel after your commute? You're not going to believe what people said. The people who were forced to talk to strangers were way happier than the people who just sat there and did what they normally do. And they were not just happier, by the way. They were way happier. Why? Well, the researchers are here to tell you why. That unexpected connections energize you. And here you and I are thinking it's awkward. You know what it is? It's actually awesome. These unexpected conversations make you feel like you belong. They make you feel like you matter. And if you stop and think about it, it makes sense because you're not sitting there on autopilot ignoring the rest of humanity. Once you start talking to someone, what happens? It's like you come alive because the life force energy inside you sparks. And you also underpredict how happy a random conversation with a stranger will make you feel. Instead, you're sitting here thinking, oh, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be awkward. You talk yourself out of it. And you want to know what else is cool? The research shows it not only makes you happier, it makes the stranger happier too. And so many of you write in and you're like, Mel, will you do an episode about your secrets to success? One of these days I will, but I'm going to tell you something. Going first and talking to, quote, strangers is one of my secrets to success because I believe every single stranger could become a good friend, a connection, a business partner. And so let me share with you some of the tricks that I use to go first without being creepy. Number one, I compliment people's nails all the time. It's a really cool way to compliment somebody's individuality, to call out something cool about them, or I might ask them what they're reading. I might ask them what they ordered. I might compliment their shoes or compliment something that they're wearing, or like Sawyer did in the hostel, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just say, hey, hello. Honestly, I live by this. I talk to everyone, the barista. I talk to people who are in the front of the line with me. I always talk to people in the elevator, always. I am not the kind of person that gets in an elevator and stares at the door and just I literally, good morning. Hey, everybody, how you doing? And it's amazing. It's like watching popcorn. Oh, good. How you doing? Okay. I'm like, even just that little banter picks you up. Walking the dog. Anytime I pass someone, hi, people at the gym. Hey, how you doing? The chatting with the person on the customer support phone, by the way. This one actually is kind of interesting because if you are ever on the phone with somebody who's doing customer support and they pick up the phone, and you're like, hey, how you doing? It's a little startling for the person because most people don't actually ask like they care. And by the way, when you go first, when you lean in, when you compliment their nails or ask what the name of their dog is, or you ask them what their favorite thing to order is, it says a lot about you. It says that you're the kind of person who's willing to make a connection, that you're the kind of person who's interested in other people. And, you don't have to act like you're running for mayor and shake hands and chat with every person you meet and hold all the babies and stuff. But you can do a little more than you're doing right now, right? Because I really want you to wake up and realize that you're playing it safe and boring right now. You're on your phone during your commute. You're staring at social media while you're waiting in line at the coffee shop. And here you are missing out on all these opportunities for connection that bring you energy, that give you a little boost of happiness, that make you healthier, and that could just change the trajectory of your life. Like, just imagine if I were to secretly film you throughout the day. I were to follow you with hidden cameras. You didn't realize you were being filmed. Just imagine looking at the footage of you going throughout your day. You know what you would see? You would see that you are closed off. You would see that you are walking around and there's all these people walking by you and sitting around you and you're not talking to them. That you're giving signals that you're not open to a conversation. You would see that you are buried in your phone instead of looking up and looking around. And you'll see that you're missing so many opportunities to connect with people. You feeling lonely? Here's how you actually address it. Start going first. Start saying hello to people. Start tapping into that energy and those little boosts that are all around you. You're not going to feel so lonely. Here's your assignment from your friend Mel Robbins. We're going to borrow from the researchers at the University of Chicago and those people that were in the group that were required to talk to strangers. Your assignment from me, Mel, is to say hello to one person you pass today. That's it. That's it. And I want you to notice how it feels. How does it feel to turn to the person next to you at the coffee shop and spark a conversation with them instead of just staring at your phone? How does it feel to talk to somebody that you don't know standing on the sidelines as you watch one of your kids play soccer? How does it feel to sit down next to somebody at work that you've never met before and just have lunch? See, researchers say that you and I can divide relationships into two categories: weak ties and strong ties. Now, strong ties are obvious. They're the people you see all the time: coworkers, family members, close friends, neighbors. They know your birthday, your favorite color. They can guess what you're going to eat for lunch today. They know what book you're reading. And here you and I pour all of our energy into those relationships. And we miss out on this second category of people who make your life really meaningful. And that is weak ties. And weak ties are a group of people that I want you to start to pay a lot more attention to. These are people who you don't know that well. Your building superintendent, the person who works like 5 offices over from you that isn't in the same department, the person that you pass in the hallway, in the dorm, in the apartment building, or that maybe lives in another floor, but you actually ride the elevator with them or pass them in the hallway, your child's teacher, your yoga instructor. These are all weak ties that have the potential to make you much happier than you are right now. How? By leaning in, by caring a little bit more, by being interested. And let me just hit you with a little more research on why this matters so much. And this comes from Dr. Barbara Fredrickson at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. She says these simple little day-to-day interactions stimulate the release of neurotransmitters such as dopamine and oxytocin, which are associated with positive emotions and social bonding. And so you're experiencing what researchers call social contagion. And what that means is that all of these positive emotions, connection, boost of happiness, energy, belonging, just this sense of goodness, they can spread from one person to another. And if you get into the habit of going first, of saying hello, of striking up a conversation, of complimenting people's nails and asking questions and being the one that leans in, you will start to see this ripple effect in your life of daily positive boosts. It's honestly kind of incredible. Some of your most favorite people are people you haven't met yet. I freaking love this topic. It's the idea that there's a stranger out there that you're meant to meet who could become one of your closest friends. Everyone that you love now in your life was once a stranger.